There we go. Now you can hear. Wow, you can hear and see me. Technology is incredible. Dude, I have been on such an ABBA don't go wasting your emotions kick. I don't know why, but it has been like the only thing that I have played on loop. Anytime I'm either out for a walk or on the bus heading to school, it's just, I don't know what it is, but I've suddenly been bitten by the ABBA bug, which is really fun to say. Bit by the ABBA bug. And there's just, every song is a banger, man. Hi, hello. Hi, Chris. Hi, Hannah. How has your evening been? I hope it's been really good because mine has been awesome. My whole day has been fan-friggin-tastic. Thank you, Cassidy. Oh, thank you. This is my first day wearing it. And I'm really comfy. I'm really toasty. And it's amazing. Hey, AJ. Welcome to the party. No, there's no pun to be made there. I'm like on top of the world today because, to be completely honest with you, because a few people have complimented this sweater and I'm just like, oh, thank you. Oh, I'm toasty and I feel warm inside. So that's been absolutely wonderful. Plus for my job, I had to do a shoot today. And nothing went wrong. Everything went so right. Even things that I did not account for. Like, we planned this shoot, maybe a month or so ago, definitely before daylight savings time, and I completely forgot to take it into account. And so the shoot was supposed to occur at like 4:30 p.m. And at the time I was like, that's the only time that everybody's available, but like the sun's still going to be straight overhead. The lighting's going to be awful. Now, 4:30 is sunset. Practically. It worked out perfectly. The lighting was gorgeous. Everybody was in a great mood and very happy to be there, and we were like laughing and joking around and got a lot done. And to be completely honest with you, sometimes even on those days, I'll then think like, oh, but just wait, when I import the photos, I'll realize, oh shoot, I forgot to change this setting the entire day and all of the photos are saved as JPEG small or something. No, everything went perfectly. I was literally right before the stream looking through the photos. Everything is amazing. So it's been a great day. I'm also a little bit ahead on homework. And by that, I mean, I've done all of today's homework and a little bit of tomorrow's. That has been a major struggle. I actually filmed a video about it yesterday, just about another like semester update. Did one of those like a year ago or so. And I just kind of wanted to update you again as to my current situation. Also, do I sound a bit better? I hope so, because I moved the... Okay, hang on. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, but if I can take this camera off the little... Ooh, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me if I do this. And I got rid of my C-stand in my room and now just mounted like a little arm to my wall that, as you can see, my light is on. And I don't know if I can figure out a better way to visually show this. But my microphone is also attached to this arm. So everything is coming out of the wall and I have no more stands taking up space anywhere. So it's pretty great. There we go. There we go. Bucky's arm. I get it. This is metal. I get you. I get your references. I see where you're coming from. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm scooping what you're pooping. That was a Gabe Miller, I believe, ism in VidCon 2019, I think. That we were having a I'm blanking what you're blanking, just back and forth, and he said, I'm scooping what you're pooping. And I couldn't continue after that. I was like rolling on the ground laughing. I wonder if it was that moment even caught on video? I hope so. Hi, Holton! Hello! I hope your week has been absolutely fantastic. Because as you can tell, mine has been. It's been ridiculously stressful. Ridiculously stressful. But today, specifically, was a really good day. So I'm feeling good about that. what's been the highlight of your week? What's been the moment for you? Yeah, just like the moment that you were like, this is what I will carry with me in memory to the future of the past week. Because I definitely think mine was today, the photo shoot, because everything worked perfectly. Also, I think I finally figured out how to shoot in, or excuse me, color correct for C-Log 3, because that is something I was struggling with for a while. I got log. I was just really struggling with getting the colors after converting C-Log 3 to Rec 709, getting those to look good, and I think that I have figured it out. So can I show you a little teaser of a video that was filmed and honestly ready to post? I might post it tomorrow morning. You want to see a little teaser of it? Here it is. Be dope if I actually shared my screen. That would be that would make it a bit easier now, wouldn't it? I see we're going for the cool winds. Honestly, I wish I could get my hair to look like this every day. This is just the result of falling asleep with it wet. Hi, hello. It's been a hot minute. I just want to talk here for a sec. The last time that we talked was when I was changing my major from computer science to film, television, and digital media. I'm changing my major from computer science to film, television, and digital media. And that radically changed my academic plan. Namely, with computer science, I still had like a... So you see, hopefully the color looks good and light and natural. So at my community college to complete all of the math classes that now suddenly, I was definitely went up in smoke. Not in a great, I was very stressed when I filmed this, and I think you can kind of tell. I mean, I was also laundry day, as you can see by my outfit. This was filmed before showering, before shaving. I rolled out of bed, tossed my sheets in the washer, and then sat down and was doing homework for a while. I don't have to take those anymore. And after this semester, I will have completed all of my transfer requirements. What? This is so much faster than I thought it was going to be. This is something I talked about on last week's stream. This has resulted in me suddenly going like, oh shoot, 4-year academic college applications are open now. I have less than a month to start from zero. So that's been kind of my main focus every day, is working on those. There's a few different colleges, but the main two that I'm really looking at are Cal State Northridge, also known as CSUN, and UCLA. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. The thing is, though, these applications are for fall 2023, so I still have winter and spring in my community college. That time's gonna pass anyways, so I figure why not stick there, take just like 5 more classes, and get an associate's degree in film, television, and digital media. Because A, I can put that on my application and it sure helps. B, even if I don't get into any of these colleges, or I don't know, the plan of my life radically changes, I will at least have some degree of some kind. It's just an associate's, but that's a lot better than nothing. Story time. When I moved to California here, I spent multiple years trying to apply to the Starbucks down the street and was turned down every time because I barely graduated high school and had nothing else to my name, and I was like 24. So I'm done with that life. So that's my current plan. And you know what's really, really cool, by the way? So in the spring of this year, I was still obviously pursuing computer science, but I had an empty slot where I didn't have any more computer science classes that really needed to be taken that semester, but I still needed to squeeze some units in. I still needed to take a class. So I figured, you know what? Why not just do a media class? And it was a lot of fun. My group made a little short film. And I am so glad that I took that. Because what I did not know at the time was that that was a prerequisite to all of the other classes that you need to take to get an associate's. If I hadn't taken that specific class on a whim on that semester, then this would be totally unfeasible. What? Now there's several subcategories within I definitely talked about that media that I'm not sure which one I want last week. So this is not new information to you. I'm sorry. Narrative cinema, the film industry. There's documentary filmmaking, there's videography, which is a different thing. And that's what I need more practical experience in each of the three of those. My current life experience has pretty much almost exclusively been like documentary style. Put that in quotes, and I said style because it is not documentaries. I have not made a documentary, but just like travel vlogging. I'm talking about like filming for a National Geographic television show. I really like that. In fact, for my job, one of my responsibilities, something that I did, was travel with a college class down to Mexico and document their activities. And I loved it. Every day for 2 weeks, sleeping under the stars quite literally because there was no air conditioning in any of the rooms and it was summer. So we literally slept outside on the beach, which was awesome. And everything was like wet and saltwatery, and I loved it so much. It was literally travel vlogging, but I don't need to come up with things to say to the camera. I got to do the part that I love the most, turn the camera around and film in that direction. That is another reason why I love it when I go to Malaysia. Not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I really, really love vlogging when I'm with Susan is I can pretty much point the camera at her, and you love seeing her, she loves being on camera, I love seeing her. It's so pretty.
Oh, who, me?
It's a win-win-win all around, and that's really what it felt like. There's also videography that I've done a few jobs for, and I really enjoy it. Just like a couple weeks ago, I was in Temecula, California, and was a camera operator for a concert. Say hello to my little friends! I am in heaven! You know the people that like put the live camera feed on the screens on either side of the stage? I was one of the camera guys for that. And I loved it! And that's a wrap. Ridiculously sweaty, but I loved it. Why is the standard outfit all black? That sucks in the summer. But I think I just need to get more practical life experience in each of those three before I fully make a decision. And thankfully, that is what the classes that I'm going to take in spring 2023 are. It's from a variety. It's like screenwriting. It's like narrative cinema. It's about documentary. It's basically like a little taste. It's the general education of film, television, and digital media. So I guess that'll be an update for you there when I know, because I sure don't right now. But that means I have to get through this semester. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is the hardest semester I've had yet. And I don't understand why. My workload isn't ridiculously heavy or anything. I'm only taking 4 classes, and each of those are 3 units. So it's like 12 units in total, which is not ridiculous. And sure, I'm also working part-time at the same time, but that's been the case for like over a year. And I don't even have the excuse of these being really tough classes, because now I'm not trying to, do 10,000 math classes in the future. I'm just trying to complete my general education. These are all Humanity 101 classes. I'm taking Political Science 101. I'm taking Speech 101. You know what's funny is I've taken other speech classes before. I've taken Gender and Communications. I've taken Intercultural Communications, but I never actually did 101, so I need to go back. And it's the same professor, so that's kind of funny. I'm taking a Math 135, and I'm taking Music 101. And the music one is what's killing me. Like, I did not have any sort of musical education growing up. My father tried because he played the French horn in high school. So he tried to teach me the basics, but I was just not receptive to it, which I really regret now. There was a time in my life I could read music, and that was in 4th grade on the recorder. But I feel like, the video games where it's like the apples falling from the tree and you're a dog with a basket and you have to go from side to side trying to catch all of the apples, and then more and more come, and you're trying to decide like what are the biggest clusters of apples falling, so you have to let some. That's what I feel like with this homework. It's not even the classes per se, it's just the sheer amount. And that's what's so confusing, is it doesn't seem like it's only 12 units. It's not any more or less homework than I've been able to successfully do in the past. I was looking at my academic history. I've gotten all A's when I was taking 4 3-unit classes and working part-time. My hours, my work haven't changed. I don't understand why I went from all A's in harder classes than these to now barely struggling to maintain a B. Barely. In my music class, I'm pushing a C. I might have to no pass that. Which, shout out to the California community college system for enabling pass no pass. That might be my literal lifesaver. Crap, I need to fulfill that paperwork. I'll do that today. I literally have not made myself available to any of my friends because I've just been doing homework. And it's not enough. I don't understand what's the variable that I'm not accounting for. I just got to keep telling myself that I only have a few more weeks, though. The semester is more than halfway finished. And you know what my reward will be? Never having to take a math class or a music class again in my life. And I think it's like because of that knowledge that I've really dedicated myself to, I am going to be able to do this. I am going to enjoy this class. And it's kind of working. Like, knowing that this is the last time, hopefully, that I will ever have to take a math class in my life and not feel like I'm missing out, I'm kind of like, okay, well, then I'll just enjoy the experience for what it is one final time. It's working. That's really cool. Okay, I know if you know music, you're laughing at me right now, but I have a test on Friday about inversion of triad chords, and I'm freaking out because there's no way. I've been rereading my notes and trying to Google, and it's just not sticking in my brain. So, this is the last time I will ever have to do this, Chris. This is the last time I'll ever have to do this. So what's up with you? This really was just like a complete, let me just unload all of this onto you. So now you know exactly the state of Chris in November 2022. Sorry that I've just been so absent from videos. It's just a lot of trying to understand triad inversions, and it's not sticking. So I hope things have been really well with you, and wish me luck on this music test on Friday. I need it. Stay positive. Stay positive. Stay positive. Stay positive, Chris. It is laundry day, can you tell? I'm gonna get back to studying now. Mom, don't watch this. I've also been like absolutely addicted to these. They're my saving grace, and I think I actually am addicted because I start to get really foggy when I haven't had one in over a day. That's not good. Whoops. Sorry. Hi. Yes, I may have I don't think I fully fell asleep, but I definitely was losing consciousness there. I'm really, really sleepy tonight because I did not get a lot of sleep last night. And I did not. I just meant to close my eyes for 1 second. But then I all of a sudden heard the outro music. So, sorry about that. I definitely did not mean to play the entire video. But there you go. You just had the entire thing. Oh, goodness. I need a monster right now, apparently. I have one. It's tempting me. It's right over there. I'm not going to because having that at, so late at night is not a great idea. But I will say, though, being sleepy does have its benefits. As I discovered today, I was so tired today, but tired to the point where I felt no social anxiety because I just did not care, because I did not have the energy to care. So I was doing something that I frequently struggle to do, and just looking people in the eyes and just holding eye contact, which I noticed like, oh, this is unusual, but I just don't have the energy to care that normally I would be, I would just like hold eye contact when in a conversation with somebody. And that was kind of nice. The start contest of Chris live and Chris filmed. Yeah. You just got a little snippet into Chris sleep. Well, you've seen me sleep before. That sounds really creepy. But like, you have? I've definitely fallen asleep on stream multiple times. You remember that time in North Carolina when my brother took over? I was just like, I'm too tired. Go, Noah, go. And he did. Noah's a real one. Shout out to Noah. Oh goodness, yeah. Too tired to feel stressed. I've experienced that. It's a little weird, but also slightly nice, right? I don't want to do it again. I also think that kind of is what contributed to, for me today, feeling like such a good day, because I just didn't feel anxious at all. And that was really nice. Not sustainable. I'm not going to deprive myself of sleep tonight in order to be the same way tomorrow, but when I woke up this morning and realized I only had gotten like 4 hours of sleep, I was really upset at myself. Like, oh, why didn't you go to bed sooner? Today is going to be an awful day, and it's because of your preventable choices. But then it wasn't. And that, obviously, I still don't feel good. But just because I don't feel good doesn't mean the day is going to be bad. It's not set in stone. So that's nice to kind of keep in the back of my mind, and I'm definitely going to remember that even though I don't feel good, that does not mean that the day is not going to be good. It's not set in stone. So that's kind of a relief. It's a little weight off my shoulders, so that's pretty nice. Holton giving a new meaning to sleepwalking. Wait, what? One time when I was in school full-time and work almost full-time, I nearly fell asleep standing straight up. I believe it. I'm struggling with doing both part-time. I don't know how you were doing it full-time. That's crazy. But also, good job. It says, I drank a Monster at night. It made me feel so bad. Yeah, I think the latest I've consumed energy drink products within recent memory was like 7 p.m. and that was a mistake. Chris has fallen asleep on a live stream at least 5 times. Does that count? That almost counts as 6. Not, I wouldn't say quite. I wasn't asleep. I was getting there, but wasn't asleep. So yeah, we'll just say 5 times. Yeah. Oh, and Holton said, and dozed off a bit while walking. Jeez. That's a level that is way beyond what I'm feeling. So, I'm glad you're okay. That was a lot, and I'm really, really glad that you are where you are now, Holton. So, yeah, I'd say today or, okay, you want to know something really cool that happened this week? I got the opportunity to go up in one of those construction cranes. I think I posted about it on my Instagram story. Let me see if I can pull up a photo real quick. It was so cool. So my job, they were like, the construction company that's working on this thing is gonna like bring the crane down. They don't need it anymore. So they wanted us to take some pictures of the workers, take like a group photo of a bunch of, well, not just the workers, but like some of the construction workers, some of the people that approved the project, some of the people that came up with like the blueprints for the building, like a wide spectrum of different kinds of people. And so they had me go all the way up, and it was wild. It was so cool. There we go. And it was like a series of 10 feet tall ladders with like tubes of handles is the best way to describe it. Like a tube, but it's not solid. It's just rings of handles. So in case you fell off the ladder, you could grab a handle. And if you didn't do that, then you would only fall 10 feet. You know, there were platforms every 10 feet. So you couldn't, I I mean, you get hurt. Like falling off a 10-foot ladder will break a bone, but you won't die, hopefully. So that was pretty neat. And yeah, this is the very top of it. Whoops, I clicked the wrong thing. So that was me getting some footage in my incredibly professional posture there. And the view. When you look straight down, whoa, that you don't want to fall from. But it was pretty neat. It was really high, real scary. But I also discovered I don't actually really have a fear of heights anymore. I felt totally fine. Like I was on the ground. So that was a neat little discovery to realize like, oh, I'm not scared of something I thought I was. So, that's how the water tower was in the town where I grew up. Okay, yeah. Like the 10-foot... Wait, how do you know? Did you go climbing in the water barrel? Hannah? Oh, goodness. I'm not one to judge. One of me and my brother's favorite activities used to be riding our bikes. You know, like the... is that called the underpass? Under bridges, the like horizontal section? We would ride our bikes like that up and down them. That was really fun. Or... Okay, so our backyard dropped off into just miles and miles and miles of woods. Holden can attest to this. You were there. You remember our house. In fact, I think I've said where it was. You remember our house in Wake Forest. So we would go there and find hunting chairs and just climb up them and sit in the most unsafe chairs possible. Like the chair would be leaning forward. It'd shake when you... there was no strap or seatbelt or anything. I don't know how neither of us fell. The only time I can ever remember either of us falling out of a tree was one time, and it was Noah. It wasn't even me. Oh, hi, Gina. Hello. Welcome. Oh, okay. Hannah has never been in the water tower, but your dad worked for the village for a few years and had to go up sometimes. Oh, got you. Yeah, I did mount my GoPro to my chest. Not that I was going to, like, use that footage. It was not for my work. It was just for me. Just because I wanted that moment captured as a POV. So, totally understand. Yep, Holden, we sure did. We took you into... Okay, so the trees behind... There were like 3 different kinds. How do I describe this? The woods behind our house were almost split into 3 different sections of different types of trees. The first, where we called layer 1, was our backyard, and a little bit beyond it, that was like generally pine trees, a few other kinds mixed in there. They were all very, very spaced out. Chris, that was a good comment. That was a really good comment. Oh my gosh, that was the best comment of the night right there. Woo! I really appreciate that. That was really clever. That was really good. You get props. So behind that, there was like a fire break, I guess it was. And then after our backyard was this really densely populated place of pine trees. Young pine trees too, not old ones. These were like, on average, the tree width was about this wide, you know. Most of them honestly were like this. It was all new. And that's what we called layer 2. That's where we spent the most amount of time because it was still relatively... You couldn't get lost in it. It was only like... How big was that, Holden? A couple 100 feet long? It stretched like a fair amount of our neighborhood wide. But if like you picked any direction and just walked forward, you would be out of it in like 20 minutes. That was layer 2. That's where we spent most of our time. But then layer 3. Layer 3 was the woods after that, outside of that little cluster of baby pine trees. The trees were huge, old, really far apart, and there was a ground cover of like a foot of leaves. And I might be slightly misremembering because I was very young at the time, but I remember, like, to me it was like, oh, you sink your whole foot in it. And that was peak Calvin and Hobbes style of woods. So many memories there. And Holton, we definitely hiked through layer 3, right? 100-acre wood vibes. Absolutely. Oh, Hannah, that's so wholesome. I'm really glad. Oh, that's so great. Yours truly, ground level. Yep. How's Susan doing? She's doing really, really good. She's like, I don't know, she's thriving and still doing her streams and absolutely loving it. I hate heights. That's why I work jobs at ground level or slightly below. True. Thank you again, Chris, for that. Grandma is still, like, to this day, thanked you every time she goes to there. Oh my gosh, such wonderful memories. Do I have any photos of these particular woods that I'm talking about to show you? Let me see if I can quickly pull up so you can see what I'm talking about and it's not just theoretical. Because here's 2009, which, you know what's crazy? I saw someone say, oh, is this a good quality photo? Okay, ignore the random kid in it. This was an example of what it looked like in layer 3. This wasn't technically layer 3. This was still in our neighborhood, but it's a representation of layer 3. Except for that pipe. There was no signs of civilization for miles and miles. And there was one time that I got lost in it. The only time I'd ever gotten lost. Thankfully, I was not alone. It was me, my best friend Andrew, and a third friend of ours. And I was taking him out in the woods as the sun was setting, which in hindsight was a terrible idea. And we went far. And then eventually we're like, okay, let's turn back around. It's this way, right? No, wait, it's this way. What do you mean? We came from this way. Are you serious? We came from that direction. We were just there 10 minutes ago. Or like 30 seconds ago. We were right there 30 seconds ago. I don't remember exactly how we got turned around, but we got very turned around. And it was starting to get dark. And that was terrifying. And we eventually were just like, okay, let's just freaking pick a direction. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been a few years. So, or maybe it was Andrew being like, oh, the moss grows north, so this way would be north. We eventually stumbled upon this clearing, which was unusual. And in the middle of the clearing was a house with a light on. Now, this is prime horror movie situation now that I'm realizing it and saying it out loud and remembering this. Next time I go back to North Carolina, I need to have because this whole story, it's all coming back to me now. I haven't thought about it in so long and it sounds made up. I need a second party to verify that all of this happened to you but we were like, well, this is our best chance. So we go up to the... Did you ever make it out? No. Oh, the screen just went gray. What? Oh, wait. Was that a... And I'm trying to remember. I think an old guy opened it. And we were very visibly like kids, young teenagers. I couldn't have been older than 14. And I basically just said, "Can I use your phone to call my dad?" And he let us, which shout out to him, because this is before I had a phone. Shout out to that guy, because that could honestly, okay, imagine you're that guy. You live in a clearing in the middle of the woods, and all of a sudden, at dusk one day, 3 kids knock on your door and say, "Can we use your phone?" I would honestly get really creeped out by that, or think it's like a scam or something, and I don't know if I would. But that guy helped us so much, because I called my dad, and then I explained, he asked like, "Okay, what street are you on?" And so I asked the old guy, and he told us where the nearest one was. And Dad goes, "Chris, we were just there like earlier this week. How do you not remember that?" Because me and my dad had decided, because I had always wanted to really explore this, because that backyard dropped off into miles and miles and miles and miles of woods. And so my dad, I really wanted to explore it, but obviously my dad and my mom were like, "No, you can't go too far." What too far meant, we had disagreements about. But he eventually was like, "Okay, you and me, let's go as far as you want to." And we did, and we had eventually stumbled across a road. And turns out that's the road that this guy lived off of. He was like, How did you not recognize it?" Oh my gosh. But they eventually came and got us, and everything was taken care of. And somehow, Andrew was still allowed to come over to my house after that. So there's a little story for you that I have not thought about in so long, and I'm so glad that that story has a happy ending. Did your parents think you would get lost or something? I don't know. Like, honestly, I was given a lot of freedom as a child to go explore the woods wearing camouflage in hunting season. But I was a really, really, really ridiculously lucky kid. I've never broken a bone besides my nose. Never got seriously hurt. And so far at least, have never died. So that's pretty, great. I need to ask Andrew about this. Yeah, ask him about the time that we got lost in Layer 3 in the Wake Forest house. And say there was one other friend. Hopefully he'll remember that. Wasn't Andrew a Boy Scout? Shouldn't he know it? Yeah, I mean, okay, it's a little bit, like, I guess it's different when you're all alone, except for, like, 2 other friends, and it's getting dark out. Like, all of a sudden it's real. This isn't training, this is real. Holton. Yeah. I have broken Holton's bones. And did I concuss you on the swing? I definitely hurt you on the swing. If you don't know, poor Holton, I have injured him so many times. And to like a legitimately, yeah, I need to be stopped. If you don't know, basically we were bouncing on a trampoline. I think the time that Holton is referencing is we were bouncing on a trampoline, and I went to go do the where you bounce someone, where you jump like a half second before they do, and you slingshot them in the air. But I did not tell Holton that I was going to do this, which was a mistake, because he was not in a good, like, he was not ready for that, because he had no indication that that was coming. Yep. And then the second time, so I've hurt you at my house with that and at your house with the swing situation. He had his backyard kind of dropped off downwards a little bit, and then there was this huge tree that had a swing attached to a branch on the outside. So we were, wanna, hi! We're just recounting the times that I have hurt people. So we were swinging on that, and I was pushing him, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Holton, but weren't we also spinning while pushing? And then I was like, haha, I'm going to sling him around and let go so he has so much momentum. And he did that and smacked into a tree and fell down. Because this wasn't just like an ordinary swing like a few feet off the ground. This like went off into a hill. So he fell a fair distance. Holden's right, I am an absolute menace. I can't believe he still dares to come around me anymore. For like... But he will always be my Mario. So, the hill went down into the woods. Yes, you had your own version of Layer 3. And, yeah, it was... Sorry, Holton. I did do an apology video to Holton. Honestly, the thing is, though, it wouldn't be a joke. Like, I'm so freaking sorry. That actually happened. Like, that's not a bit for content. That's like I actually really hurt my friend multiple times. And you know what, though? He always brings it up. So, like... That's fair. You have the right to always bring it up. That's, you know what? That's fair. Chris, what if Holton fell down into that woods and couldn't find his way out? Oh gosh. You know what legitimately was a concern? There was all of the poison oak and poison ivy and poison sumac that was everywhere. You know what? I have not seen poison sumac since I was a child. It still is a thing, right? Wow, this voice was super squeaky. Oh, Holton. Well, thank you. You too. Wait, does that work? You are awesome. And I don't know how I'd work the injuries comment into flipping it back. Never mind. Oh, goodness gracious. Hi, Audra. What is poison sumac? It was like, wasn't it a variation of poison? There's poison oak, there's poison ivy, and I thought there was poison sumac. Yeah. Let me Google it. Let's go on an adventure together. That's right, because it doesn't look... Poison ivy you can recognize fairly easily. But, like, if you saw this... obviously, yeah, that's poison oak. Leaves of 3, let it be. But... Oh, or maybe it's not. Excuse me. So, like, there's poison ivy. Oh, it's going to pull up the character. I didn't even think about that. Poison oak. This is, I think, like, the most common, at least in California. This, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Perfect. Thank you. Shout out to whoever made... Thank you, FDA. That's a perfect... That's the difference. Yeah. Yeah, poison oak is pretty easy to spot, especially when it starts turning red. But yeah, of anybody here, Holton, you would know the most. You definitely grew up the most surrounded by it. Because I was a city lad, and there were many, many, many wonderful memories. Holton is the one that got me into exploring the woods, because he lived much more in a woodsy area. I lived more in a suburby. Was it? Does that kind of? I think that's suburb. It was like Holton. I'm not entirely clear, to be completely honest with you, on what the definition of a suburb is, which I think is the whitest thing I have ever said. So, but yeah, so Holton really, we would go on hikes together, his whole family. And then later on, just Holton and I walking through the, following the creek so we wouldn't get lost, and just going on hikes. And that was really special. I really, really treasure those memories, especially when we would go through and follow the creek. Or sometimes there was areas where there was like a bunch of rocks. Was there water in the creek? I recall the creek being dry, but I might be conflating like two different memories together. Aw, thank you, Chris. Is very, like, I'm toasty in this. I'm very, and it's hopefully it's giving Christmas tree. That is my goal. Professor Howard, are we gonna get lost in the woods today? Yeah, we're gonna go creek walking and then break bones. That's so freaking dark. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. If this was a video, I just edit that out. Professor Howard, is there gonna be poison sumac on the field trip? Yes, but you'll have to identify which it is, because we're walking straight through unless it's called out. I think I'm not allergic, because I don't recall ever having poison oak, poison ivy, or poison sumac. Like, ever. Holden, can you ever recall me getting poison? Because I can't. I haven't seen poison sumac much, but I've had a few nasty brushes with stinging nettle. Oh, fun fact, stinging nettle makes a nice tea. Really? Is it tingly? Is it tingly? Okay. But that's really interesting. Evil Chris returns for half a second. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. That was a dark place. I found a giant animal bone on a night hike on a... Jeez. Okay, first of all, you found a giant animal bone on a night hike? Ooh, of all the places that you would not want to experience that, in the woods at night is pretty high up there. Yeah, I think Holton is the only person I've known that has called it creek walking, but that is a very, very accurate term. Did you guys know a great way to avoid poisonous plants is to never go outside? I tried it and it really works! Wow! Oh, goodness gracious. I can't. Oh, goodness. That's what we should do, Holden. Next time we're together, go on a... Well, we need to go on a hike to, like, the Hollywood sign, because that's just the classic tourist thing. But also, we need to find a creek. Well, we just walk next to the LA River. I don't know. There's not much around here. We need a cast fact. That would be awesome. That would be wonderful. What time is it? Oh my gosh! What? I thought we were just getting started. How much time was I asleep? Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, if you missed that, I didn't fall asleep. Definitely was starting to slip from consciousness, though. I meant to just show a snippet of a new video, And I then closed my eyes for a second, and suddenly I heard the outro music and accidentally shared the entire video. Oh goodness. Oh, Cassidy, you should have taken the bone. That sounds like a term. Like, are you gonna take the bone? Well, I guess it's like take the bait. I guess that's already a term for it. You can come up to NorCal and we can creek walk at my parents. Yes, I'm so in. Absolutely, I'm in. Cast fact time. Are you ready for this? Da 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 da. We just got a cast fact. We just got a cast fact. We just got a cast fact. Wonder what it is. I'm gonna need to put like a beep or something at the end because I can never tell visually when that video's done now. Oh goodness. Yes, cast fact. In 1893, New Zealand became the first country to give women the right to vote. Wow. Good for New Zealand, but also shame on every country ever for not having that be sooner. Like, oh, I don't know. It's not like women have existed since the beginning of humanity or anything and have been like forcibly oppressed that entire time. Like, good on New Zealand for that. Shame on every other country that was patriarchal and did not allow that to happen. One time we were eating the Zooming baby is the best. Yeah, honestly, the baby is the best. One time we were eating in a restaurant, my mom was saying the meat she was eating was fall off the bone quality. I thought she said follow the bone and practically died laughing. Yep. Oh, Christery fact. If you drove Route 1 from Richmond to Raleigh, it would be 157 miles. That just reminded me. I was on the phone with my mom earlier. And we were joking about, I don't remember what actually we were talking about, but I talked so confidently about like, oh, there, like, it's not that far. If you go on like I-80, and you know, to get from Raleigh to Durham or something like that. And she was like, Chris, I-80, that's in Sacramento. I don't know what street you're thinking of, but it's not I-80. And I was like, mind blown. I was so confident. I was so sure that I-80 was in North Carolina, but apparently it is not. I haven't actually looked that up to verify, but the two people that would know are Holton and Chris here. Is I-80, is that a Sacramento place or a North Carolina place? Oh yeah, okay, Holton confirmed. I don't know where I got I-80 as a North Carolina thing. NorCal. I don't know. I have no excuse for that. I'm just gonna hydrate in peace over here. Yeah. That's kind of the end of my stories so far for the week. North Carolina. I don't know when it's so groan-worthy to say that, but I just can't stop myself. I-80 runs across the U.S. Oh! Okay, so, see? Oh, it's interstate. Oh, was I thinking of 85? I might have been thinking of 85. That would make sense. I don't know. Doesn't also like Route 66. I'm going to be honest with you. I know Route 66 from two things. The Pier and Cars. The movie Cars. Which I want to rewatch. You know what movie I want to rewatch? Monsters, Inc. I know. It's like had this whole comeback thing on TikTok, and that has made me really want to rewatch it, but I just don't have time. In fact, immediately after finishing this, I'm gonna go do some homework, which I'm dreading. It's music homework. Ugh. I am struggling in this music class. It's a lot. Yes, please do, Chris. I would love that. Get your kicks on Route 66. I was also jamming. I've been on this nostalgia kick lately. I've been listening to a little bit of Stephen Curtis Chapman playing Game Boy Stand in the middle of the Grand Canyon. Excuse me. I had the Cars opening song on loop. Da-da, get your blinders on. Everybody's looking for a way to get real gone. Real gone. And yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm not complaining. And obviously, ABBA, Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you? Oh, yeah, Chris. Yes, sure. It can't be too long, though, because, yeah, I do have a lot to do. Oh, yes, Gina! Yes! But yeah, so I hope that you have an absolutely amazing and incredible and fantastic and really good rest of your week. I finally fixed the sign. The P had fallen off, so it just said stay positive. Like, for... Ow! Oh, that was my knee into my desk. Right on the funny bone. Oof! That was painful. I'm awake now, I'll tell you what. Ugh. Oh yeah, honestly, Cass, same. I haven't seen the third one. And I was just a kid. I remember watching Cars 2 when it came out and loving it. Because I was a kid. I don't know. I haven't seen it since. I remember it just being really fun, but I'm sure if I watched it again, I would not like it. But that's kind of why I haven't. Why'd you cut your hair? To save on conditioner. I don't know. I was going to college and wanted a change. And yeah, I like it. Maybe you needed that to wake you up. Oh goodness. So yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope that you just have a really good time. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm going to get this friggin' music homework done and then call it early tonight. So yeah, I will see you next week though. Wait, will I see you next week? Hang on, let me check my calendar. Yes, I will see you next week. Won't be able to see you after that, but yeah. So I hope that you have an amazing time, and I'll see you real soon. So in the meantime, remember, stay flushed, stay awkward, stay classy, stay... What were the rest? Sprinkled, stay... What were some of the more gross ones? It was like stay crusty, stay succulent. No, that's not. Next week is Thanksgiving week. Oh, okay. Maybe I won't stream then. I'm not sure. If a bunch of people have prior plans, which fair enough, please spend this time. Stay caffeinated, honestly. Stay original. Stay howdied. Yes. Stay soggy. That was it. That's the one I was thinking of. Stay loving it. Da-da-da-da-da. Stay sative. Stay zesty. What is it that Dan Howell used to say? Stay friggin' zazzed. Yeah, stay lost. Please don't. And in the meantime, remember, most importantly, to to stay wiped.